From the grounds of Clayton High School in Clayton, New Jersey, Comcast Channel 5 presents high school football. Today, the Clayton Clippers host the Pennsgrove Red Devils. Hello again, everyone. Rob Christ along with my partner, Shawn Leary. A hot, sticky afternoon, certainly not football weather. May have some cramping problems that these players will have to endure, but we should have a good game. A couple of small schools that are really trying to get back on track. These teams combined for 3 wins last year. This year, they hope to make it appreciably better and start their playoff race.
Well, you're right, Rob, and I think last year, they're a little bit more experience at the top of the Classic Division. But these teams kind of elevate themselves to the top. I think the Classic Division, from the middle down, all really has a chance or a shot at the playoffs. So somebody could get hot if a couple players can gel at the right time and the teams can have chemistry early on. I think either one of these teams you could find in the playoffs.
Well, last week, Pennsgrove played an excellent Glassboro team, played well offensively, really struggled defensively. The coaching staff feels very good about this team, and why not? They have one of the top freshmen in all of New Jersey in Aaron Hayward.
Yeah, this guy runs a 10.6 100. I mean, that's good enough for possibly in the high school media champions a place. And so this guy has ridiculous speed. He just went to the Nationals in Indianapolis for the junior level. I mean, this kid is terrific when he gets his hands on the ball. I think he had 166 yards last week with only 10 carries. So this is a home run hitter. And remember, he's only a freshman. This kid's only going to get bigger, stronger, more powerful. And he already has that burst of speed that once he gets through the line, it's hard to catch him. You'll see that number on the backside, and he's going all the way to the end zone. He is a very fast runner that can take it the distance.
Well, for Clayton, they're going to be a little bit shorthanded today. A few disciplinary problems. We'll have a number of seniors sitting on the bench. But there's one man who's a rock, who's solid, probably the strong point of this Clayton team, and that's Billy Ardecki.
One of the things the Clippers has this year is an offensive and defensive line. You know, usually when you don't have the numbers, you're going to try to find a couple of them big guys to plug in there, to plug up some holes defensively and, of course, open some on the offensive side of the ball. And Ardecki's that type of guy. He's a guy who comes in here with a little bit of experience, but he's a big, strong guy, a guy that they haven't had at Clayton for a couple of years now that can really anchor that line. And now he's got a couple guys to join him on either side. Clayton's offensive line is finally a one that is formidable, that they can run behind, and also defense, they can plug some big holes.
Well, this is Clayton's season opener. Of course, also their home opener. We'll have the opening kickoff for you right after this. Welcome back to Clayton High School, about to get underway. Kicking things off, it'll be Clayton High School. Billy Ardecki, who we spoke about at the top, will take care of the kicking duties. Back to receive LeVar Ledbetter and Aaron Hayward. A short little pooch, and it will be picked up by Reggie Reed. Reed with a lot of room right up the middle. Reed still on his feet, finally brought down. First down and 10 with excellent field position here for Pennsgrove. Reggie Reed returns it to the 45-yard line.
Number 6, Darwin Q, and number 50, Eli 2.
This is a Pennsgrove team that offensively likes to give a lot of looks, and yet they'll typically keep the ball on the ground. A lot of speed. And we spoke about Hayward before. You'll see Reed in the backfield along with Ledbetter and also Roderick Carper. Your quarterback Coppage under center. And a handoff right up the gut. A big run right. Cuts it outside. Ledbetter down the sideline. No one's going to catch. LeVar Ledbetter.
Number 2, LeVar Ledbetter. He's in for a touchdown for the Red Devils.
That didn't take long, as they feel real confident with the weapons in the backfield. If you give them a little bit of a crease, they're going to be able to exploit it in Pennsgrove. Playing against a Clayton team that's missing a few of its starters due to disciplinary action. Took advantage right away.
Dan Lockbaum to attempt the point after. Ledbetter with a 55-yard run to start things here at Clayton. Spot is down, and the kick is good. Well, non-traditional spot there.
Yeah, Lockbaum's the nephew of the Heisman Trophy finalist, 86-87. That's Gordy Lockbaum from Glassboro. Played his college ball at Holy Cross. For those who don't remember, Gordy, one of the all-time greatest football players in Gloucester County.
I mean,
And
truly,
also in
truly a legend. And that Heisman race, I don't know if you're too young to remember that, but he was everybody's kind of their favorite just because he was truly an underdog playing at Holy Cross, did so many different things there, and a lot of people would have liked to see that happen, of course, just about everybody here locally.
And they were stacked at Glasper. They also had Sean Redmond right around that time, so that was some glory days for Glasper, and of course they've had some great teams since that time. The Julian Worley, Sakeen Wright, Kevin Evans, Terrence Holmes group from about 5 years ago. Sakeen Wright playing his ball now at Rowan University, and we're not going to get into Glassboro that much, but Glassboro, one of the rivals of both of these teams. Pennsgrove lacing them up last week against Glassboro, against some of them track stars that they have on this team. Pennsgrove has good athletes, and we're going to see some of those top athletes. And remember, some of these names over the next couple of years are going to become big names, if not now, with Coppage and Hayward. But also they have Terrell Pierce, a wide receiver who moved from running back. Clayton's going to need to respond here, Rob. Yeah, after coming out first play, that can really demoralize the team after also being down a few guys.
Kick will be returned here by Denzel Bryant, and Bryant cut down at about the 29-yard line. So first down and 10 for this Clayton lineup. Again, this will be a big series because, as you mentioned, first play touchdown, that's demoralizing oftentimes, but if they can generate a drive and negate that, then I think the momentum switches over to Clayton.
But they're going to have to, I think, do it methodically. Pennsgrove has too much speed defensively and offensively really to hit a big one. I know Clayton does have some speed, but they're down a few of their guys. They do have a nice, as we talked about in the open, a big, nice offensive line. And maybe they can wear down Pennsgrove as the game goes along, but they're going to have to start that early in the first quarter.
Green back to pass, has time and a man open, and cut down immediately after a pickup of 4, but a nice pass by Robbie Green as he hooks up with Steve Mason. Now, Green was not really slotted to be the starter here. Again, we talked about some of the problems that Clayton underwent in terms of disciplinary action. And as a result, Green, just a sophomore, getting his start. Coach Washington says he's the quietest kid on the team, but he's also the hardest working kid on the team. So expects to see some real positives today out of Green, the quarterback.
Well, you went to a quarterback camp, and Coach Washington was helping him out there, and Green's really improved from going to that camp. You see a lot of guys that improve drastically during the summertime because of that reason.
Wow, fumbled snap there, and Green able to pick it off and still hand off to Steve Lawrence, but that screws up the timing and results in a third down. Call it about 5. Let's talk about our officials today. The referee, Scott Wagner, the lineman, Ed Junica, umpire, Anthony Genesee, back judge, Steve Bradley, line judge, Charlie DeVault, and Dwight Holland is our timekeeper, right to my left.
Scott Wagner is the name that people should recognize. He was the softball coach for Clearview for a number of years. He's been in stripes. I think maybe this is his 25th season.
Back to pass, Green getting rushed, throws it up and is hit. And that will result in 4th down.
Yeah, he was whacked by Wayne Scotta Jr., defensive lineman, who comes in and lays a lick on Green. Green's nickname is Sunshine, but after that hit, he's probably thinking things are getting a little cloudy here at Clayton. He got whacked right underneath, looks like into the rib area. Made that throw. Becomes susceptible to an interception, but they're just going to have to punt it away here. Ardeki doing the punting as well. Does a lot for this team.
Jack of all trades.
Number 60, Ardeki up for the punt for the Clippers. Back to return at number 9.
Back to return is Hayward. We talked about just how dangerous he is. Not much of a rush here, and Ardeki will angle it towards the sideline. And you can see they're not going to allow Hayward to beat them. So it'll fall out of bounds at the 34-yard line. First down and 10 here for Pennsgrove. 9:40 left, first quarter. It's Pennsgrove on top by 7. Welcome back to Clayton High School. First down and 10 for Pensgrove. Inside handoff, and again, a big carry. Pickup of about 9, very close to the first down. That, of course, Reggie Reed, who returned that opening kickoff. Well, we mentioned before that...
Look at these moves, huh? Clipper cheerleaders are trying to get the crowd fired up with a couple of solid moves.
Trying to get this crowd something to cheer for. Right now, 2 plays. Grand total of 65 yards, a touchdown, and a first down. Now, again, we talked about Clayton, the heart and soul of this team, the offensive and defensive lines, but that last play, they ran it right up the gut. The first one for the touchdown was around the end, so still trying to find themselves here.
Well, if Clayton allows Pensgrove to control the line of scrimmage, this is going to be a long afternoon for the Clippers. They're going to need to corral the line of scrimmage, not allow those speedy backs to break out. And what Pensgrove does exceptionally well is the misconception plays, where it freezes those linebackers, Robin.
You talked about the misdirection play, and there's Hayward. Another first down.
Another first down for the Red Devils.
Hayward is such a speedy back, man. He's a guy that a lot of people have been talking about for the last couple of years, coming up from the midget ranks.
Once again, a first down. First and 10 now inside Clayton territory. Again, an inside handoff, and Pensgrove offensive line is giving these running backs a 5-yard cushion just to start. Shawn, I dare say that you'd have 30, 40 yards already.
No push.
Possibly.
Clayton, I
But
think...
you said something about cramping up. I think I'm already cramping up. It is really warm in this press box.
I think Clayton right now,
Bill Washington.
Right now needs to regroup. But they've lost their focus after that initial run. And they need to make a couple big stops here. Full house backfield. Coppins, your quarterback. And again, back to pass. Wide open all by himself. And going in easily for the score touchdown.
Yeah, that's Terrell Priest, the senior from Pensgrove, who switched from running back last year, Rob. And they say he's a Division I prospect and an excellent one. Out of that split position, you can see he got wide open on that play. And again, that misdirection is going to freeze the corners and the linebackers. And once you have that, you have a speedy Terrell Pierce going down the sideline.
So lock bomb once again. Attempt to point after.
They're making it look easy, too easy.
Kick is up. And the kick is good. Pensgrove on top now. 14-0.
We saw the disappointment on the face of Kemp Carr when we told him that this game possibly couldn't be coming in his area, and you could see why. He probably really wants to see this action early on, as his team is hitting on all cylinders so far. Coming out offensively, which they thought they would be able to score some points. Remember, this is a team that was able to score a couple of touchdowns, a few touchdowns versus Glassbauer last week, a team that has prided itself on its defense.
Well, again, this is very difficult for Clayton because anytime you suspend, a few players, it's going to be tough no matter what the program, starters. But when you talk about a Group 1 school, and not a very large Group 1 school, it's really going to deplete you.
Yeah, you're certainly, there was no depth.
You have to give credit to Coach Washington. I mean, again, just reinforcing the idea that they're here for education first.
And it's all it's doing is you're letting your teammates down. Guys that have worked extremely hard. You can see that drive, 4 plays, 66 yards, capped off by Terrell Pierce. 35-yard touchdown pass, a reception, excuse me. You really let your teammates down. These guys have been working hard all summer, in the off-season, working out. And then all of a sudden to to do something. I don't know, we weren't told what they did, but to do something to put your status in jeopardy for a big game such as Pennsgrove, where both teams think they have the athletes and capability of going to a playoff game. But Pennsgrove probably a little bit more excited with their chances so far today, but even going into the game, I think Pennsgrove was a little bit more excited about possibly getting back to that playoff hunt. That's really disheartening to your teammates and allowing yourself to get suspended.
Denzel Bryant trying to shake loose Pennsgrove tacklers, and that's not going to happen. He'll be cut down and may have lost a couple of yards on the return. He'll start at the 15-yard line for Clayton. As you said, Shawn, as a teammate, you have to be very upset if one of your teammates essentially puts your season into jeopardy. All the hard work that goes into it. You say that you've let down your teammates would be a vast understatement.
Clippers take over 1st and 10 from their own 18.
Well, Clayton's they got to get something going. All that aside, they really have to start playing some football here, and everyone's got to kick it in a little bit of an extra step, push a little bit harder on that offensive and defensive line.
Positive yardage for Clayton's 2nd down, and again, although Pennsgrove came out and a couple lightning scores, all it takes is a solid drive for Clayton to get the wheels rolling, shake off a little bit of the cobwebs. Remember, this is Clayton's 1st game of the season, so they're already at a decided disadvantage. Pennsgrove, although they lost to Glassboro, able to work out a lot of their kinks. That's something Clayton has not had the pleasure, or I should say the luxury of doing. High formation for Green and the Clippers. 2nd down. And looks like Pennsgrove may have jumped.
This was a big concern for Coach Washington. He thought the discipline needed to be there. They could not afford any mistakes. And penalties were going to be an issue, not the discipline you normally think of.
Dead ball foul, false start on the offense, still 2nd down.
Not the discipline as far as attitude goes, but just making sure that you hit all your assignments, make sure you don't commit the penalties or turnovers, because again, without those starters, and Clayton needs to have pretty much of a perfect game so far, not happening.
Well, that's what Coach Washington said. We need to play the perfect game today. And I said, that's a lot of pressure. He said, no, it isn't. Green back to pass, and he trips and falls, and then is speared as he's down on the ground. It looked as though it may have been a penalty, but no flag on the ground. So they started at the 15, and now they're all the way back to the 1-yard line. Things could not go much worse for Clayton at this point.
I'm not sure. I thought that was Bryant Lewis, number 55, coming from the outside, and he almost put himself in jeopardy of getting a penalty on that play. You're right, Rob. He could have been caught for spearing and hitting the quarterback, personal foul. Would have given Clayton the 1st down and pulled him out of that. I think they're at the 1-yard line now.
Green back to pass, throws it up for grabs, and this will be picked off. No, Reggie Reed. An easy interception. It won't get much easier than that, and he drops it. So Clayton forced to punt. A little surprised that they opted to throw the ball there, but all the same, they'll be forced to punt, trailing 14-0.
Decky with a real nice punt, his 1st.
Ardecki angles for the sideline. And it bounces back in, and Hayward wisely will back away. Ball down at the 50-yard line, so that's a 49-yard punt. And that's a big positive thus far for Clayton. I'll tell you what, just looking at Hayward, I already like what I see. I mean, he's not only a great athlete, but he's obviously coupled with some sense about him, because you see so often guys make critical mistakes just trying to do too much, try to pick up that ball. Think about how quickly the tide could have turned there. He picks it up, fumbles, Clayton gets great field position. Instead, he knows my time will come. 5:04 left 1st quarter. Pennsgrove on top 14-0. They scored on each of their first 2 possessions. Right up the middle, Reggie Reed, again, a good second effort. And he's hit early, shakes off a tackle, gains about 6.
Clayton not making the playoffs. It's 14 years now. In 1991, they made the playoffs with Robert Marshall, one of the great backs in South Jersey history. You see Pensgrove. Look at that offense. 128 to 9. -9. -9. This isn't a good sign. Ardecki, heart and soul of their team, is coming out. I think he has an
open cut, I believe.
Open wound.
Wow.
He's a big kid, isn't he?
I don't think there's too many kids Clayton can afford to lose anymore. They're already depleted, but Ardecki's certainly probably the one kid that they certainly cannot afford to lose. Right in the middle of that line where Pensgrove is already being exploited. Coppage will hand out a little shimmy by Hayward around the end. Cuts it back inside. Hayward cut down after the big gain.
Hayward carrying for Pensgrove, picking up a first down.
You know, what he's already done on the track is unbelievable at his young age. AC Ardecki getting worked on. But Hayward's going to be a special player in football. I mean, he's going to get some serious looks, and as Pensgrove does well, especially in the Classic Division this year. I think they're going to do extremely well. They're going to continue to draw more eyes from those recruiters. Guys like Coppage and even Pierce this year.
Again, a big surge by that Pensgrove line. Another large gain. You know, looking in the paper and prepping for this game, I saw a kid named Hayward pick up a couple of touchdowns against Glassboro, and right away you think, well, maybe in relation to Craig Ironhead Hayward. That's your first thought, but I tell you what, there couldn't be 2 players more unalike. Quickness against sheer strength, and quickness is an understatement when you talk about Hayward. Coppage knocked down. Good hit made there by Clayton's number 9, Eddie McDaniels, who's just a freshman.
McDaniel getting some playing time, number 9. He's got some good size, comes up and makes a stick. That's what they're going to need to do, is try to use some of that size to its advantage. Clayton's going to need to make big sticks, try to cause some fumbles, and again, try and wear down Pensgrove. Pensgrove's well-conditioned. Kemp Carr has this team. He's done a nice job here. You can see first downs Pensgrove with 5. Clayton's still looking for its first down of the game. Pensgrove, well coached. Yeah, when we talked with Coach Carr before the game, Rob, and I was pretty impressed with his attitude and how he demands respect from his players.
Inside again, Ledbetter after another big pickup. At this point, I think the smallest gain has been 5 yards, and obviously that's not going to get it done. You know, getting back to Clayton, talked about how they're short-handed, but in addition, they roster 38 guys, and 10 of them are freshmen. So, relatively young team, and made younger today. That was the shortest gain of the day, 5 yards for Pensgrove. Down to 1:25 left in this first quarter. Second down, Coppage. Again, it's Ledbetter inside. Ledbetter driving forward. Ledbetter finally stopped at about the 5-yard line.
Ledbetter tackled on play by number 9 initially, Eddie McDaniels. Number 2 Ledbetter picks up the first down for Pensgrove. They have it first and
Well, you
goal
can see
from 5.
the Pensgrove sideline, excited, jumping around. They want to get into the game. Vastly different from the last couple of years when Pensgrove was in jeopardy of even fielding a team, Rob. This is a group that they weren't sure if Pensgrove was going to have to call it a season because of numbers. Not only that, but just disciplinary problems, guys quitting the team.
Reggie Reed, No signal yet. Touchdown.
Number 5, Reggie Reed on a carry for Penn
Reggie Reed
for a touchdown.
with the carry of about 5 yards. And Pensgrove adds to their first quarter lead. They now have an edge of 20 points, awaiting the extra point by Lockbaum.
Lockbaum on for the point after attempt.
Comes Lockbaum, first season playing football. Taken from George Ray's soccer program. He booted a 40-yarder first day he came out for the fall practice.
Kick is up, and the kick is ruled good. There are penalty flags down. Let's see what the call is on the field.
Kick was good.
Illegal formation on the offense. We're going to retry.
Penalties procedure against Pensgrove.
See, Lockbaum going to try it again, wearing that number 88. He's got some size, Rob. Looks like he's about 6 foot, 6'1". Maybe even taller, 6'2".
Kick is up, and the kick is good. So Pensgrove adds to their lead. They lead now by 3 touchdowns. There you see the scoring drive. Reggie Reed, the 5-yard touchdown run. 7 plays and 50 yards. And very economical.
176 total yards. 141 on the ground for Pensgrove. See Coach Washington with his players, challenging him. 21-0 with 29 seconds left here in the first quarter. Disappointed with his team. Again, you had to be very disappointed with the individuals who were suspended. Obviously, would have made this game a little closer. I mean, you got some of the better players that are out of this game for Clayton.
Well, think about it. Think of all the things that go wrong here. Your opening game, probably have one of your bigger crowds come out to watch you. You can't play in it. Your team an opportunity to play one of your division rivals in a critical game, because every single game is going to matter. Clayton's been a program that's been down. You need to win every game possible in order to make the playoffs or have a winning season. And you have an opportunity to be on television. And you've thrown all of that away because of doing something that, is ill-advised.
And, when you talk about the television thing, the more important thing, what if you have a great day? You can use that tape to try and send to a recruiter and say, look, this is me right here. I'm the guy that's kicking butt in this game. And so, some recruiters will take a look at that or say, let's go down and take a look at this kid. And you don't give yourself a chance or even an opportunity to use that to your advantage as a tool to get into school. I think it's, pretty stupid.
28 seconds left in this first quarter. Pensgrove on top by 21, and Clayton again trying to mount some positives. Right now they literally are in the negatives when it comes to yardage.
Should have been perfect like me in school. Never got in any trouble whatsoever.
Kickoff, mock bomb, chasing him deep. And now a good return for Clayton. First down and 10 here for the Clippers.
I don't know who that was.
They don't have a 25. Yeah, Steve Mason.
Steve Mason. That was a heck of a fall by him. I'm not joking around either. He must have thrown himself another 6 or 7 yards with just trying to jump and gain a couple of extra yards to spread that football out. Sometimes you risk getting that ball thrown out or ball jarred loose. But those are the little things that Clayton's going to really need to pay attention to try and mount a drive. Get the extra yards, pick up the extra yards, fight for everything. Start challenging each other. Not getting in each other's faces and on each other, but just, kind of getting fired up a little bit, having some pride in yourself to mount anything that would resemble a comeback.
First down and 10 for the Clippers. I formation. Robbie Green, your quarterback, the sophomore. Will hand off, and not a whole lot there for Steve Lawrence. Lawrence has really grown over the last couple years, both physically and otherwise.
Yeah, he lifted real hard, ran real hard during the offseason. He's a good guy that'll stay focused for you. Just a little undersized, that's all.
That'll do it for the first quarter. We head to break. Pensgrove on top, 21-0. Welcome back to Clayton High School. Rob Christ along with Shawn Leary. We bring you the second half. Just underway. Robbie Green trying to get rid of the pressure. Nice little pass outside. I tell you what, I'm not sure which is better, the pass or the catch. Bobby Tunstall turned his head around, found it, cradled it, and the first down here for the Clippers. That's just a beautiful hook up there, and again, something that Clayton can build on.
27-yard pass, and you're right, I don't know what was better. He was in a tremendous rush, was Green, but he's able to get it off. Tunstall just turns around, puts his arms up, and is able to grab it as he cuts back upfield. Terrific job by both quarterback and the receiver that time. Green and Tunstall hooking up for 27 yards. Their biggest play of the game so far. You're right, that's something you need to build on.
And the pitch outside, cut down, is Steve Lawrence. Looks like he'll pick up 2 or 3 yards there. Again, this home opener crowd really looking for something to cheer about, and they found it with that nice pass from Green.
Lawrence picks up 2. It's 2nd and 8. The Clippers have the ball at the Pensgrove 41.
Yeah, you really have to build off a play like that, get a little momentum. Again, some of those leaders that Clayton does have.
They're going to have to hustle to get this off before a penalty.
Let's go, Ron. Make it happen. Get off the ball.
Second down. High formation, Green. Inside, Lawrence. And Lawrence fumbles the football. Fumbles the football. And was he down? No. Pensgrove.
That's Santiago, freshman, coming up with the football. See this Pensgrove loaded with talent and young players, young talent.
I believe that was Ledbetter, actually, the senior, number 2.
Okay, never mind.
So just when Clayton looked like they were going to build some momentum, they get shot in the foot. And we're inside of 10 minutes. Clayton trails, and they'll try to get this football back in a hurry.
Bad sign when the photographer, the Gloucester County Times, Tim Hawk, is going through the end zone. Clayton's going to need a stop. I mean, they absolutely have to get something going here.
Coppage bobbles the snap, but it doesn't matter. He'll still pick up some positive yardage. Second down and about 7.
The one problem with Clayton that you see here is that they're just getting blown off the ball. And that's something coming into the game you thought maybe they might be able to match with Pensgrove or even have an advantage, was the offensive and defensive lines.
Coppage pick up a 4. Started last year as a freshman. Only threw 9 passes last week. He was 4 for 9 against Glassboro. Again, the handoff to Reed. Reed into the secondary. Reed, and he's finally brought down, but not before getting another first down.
Coach Kemp Carr, played his high school ball at Salem. And he's cousins with A.B. Brown, a name that a lot of people probably remember. Played 5 years with the Jets, was a running back, and attended Salem High School in the early 80s.
I believe he played collegiately at Pitt. Coppage with the fake, a lot of room outside. Now he pulls it up, being forced out, and finally tripped up. Good open field tackle there made by Ramin Thomas, the sophomore. Stoppage close to the first down, just short second down.
That's a terrific job by Ledbetter coming over. Just out hustling Clayton right now. Ledbetter comes up and Coppage does a nice job of waiting for him to come over and set up the block to get that extra yards. Nice job by Ledbetter moving over to block Eli Toth, the junior. Looked like he possibly could have had Coppage going east to west.
Second down, we'll call it one. Coppage hands off to Hayward. Hayward sees a seam and he's finally brought down, but not before gaining the first down. Tackled by Nico Campos.
You see that burst of speed, Rob, once he gets through that line where he's able to kick it into an extra gear, and it's very difficult. Stop him once he gets his motor running. You got to be able to hit him at the line of scrimmage, not allow him to break, because he can cut on a dime, and then once he gets to the outside, forget it. 8 first downs now by Pensgrove.
1st and 10. Reed, Ledbetter, and Carper in the backfield. It's Carper. Carper cuts it back inside and tackled from behind by Bill Ardecki.
Number 7, Roderick Carper carrying forward.
Late flag, yeah. Late flag coming in.
Tackled from behind by number 60, Bill Ardecki.
Personal foul against Pensgrove. I think a player literally punched a Clayton Clipper.
Yeah, not nice.
Very hot day today, and again that worked.
Personal foul on the offense, repeat second down.
Again, it being so hot, Sean, that really works against the Clayton team, because should they endure any cramping, again, they have to go to a depleted lineup and a depleted bench.
Running! Shouldn't it be third down?
You know you're in trouble when your third string is in the stands. You got a couple of kids there who maybe can come out and play for you. This is a depleted team and not much on the sidelines. And you're right, you get a little bit of a cramp or something like that. Who do you go to? You go to a guy who shouldn't even be out there playing because they're not ready for the varsity level.
Coppage out of the shotgun. Back to pass. Slant pattern picked off. Picked off. On his feet and returning us down the sideline, Denzel Bryant, and Bryant cut down. So that penalty really changing the momentum, and Denzel Bryant with deep penetration now for Clayton.
Giving something to Clayton fans to put their hands together a little before. Denzel does a nice job of just corralling that ball in, but Coppage led his receiver a little too much on that play. It was an inside slant. Led his receiver maybe a good foot and a half too much, and Denzel does a nice job of coming up and making the pick.
Another timeout called here by Clayton. So Coach Washington will make sure that everyone's on the same page here. Well, this is the 4th year for Coach Washington. He started off 4-6. Past 2 seasons 1-9, and he feels really good about this team. Again, I don't think it's indicative of what's transpired here thus far, but I think he feels that once he gets these players back, he's got everybody on the same page, things are going to change here. We'll talk some more about that when we come back. 5:43 left in the half, and it's Pensgrove on top by 21. Welcome back. We come out of the timeout and a handoff inside. And that once again is Steve Lawrence. Second down for the Clippers. Pickup of about 4 yards. Interesting setup now. I'll give you some idea how depleted they are. They have another fumble here.
I think they're able to get it back, though. It looked like Green recovered that ball, and nice job by Green of jumping on it. But those are the little things that really they're struggling with. And remember, you have Green, who is not the starter, so the work between him and the center, we've seen a couple of times where Green has fumbled a snap or fumbled, not actually fumbled the ball, but almost fumbling a handoff earlier on. This guy's just not used to being used to that experience of taking snaps. Doesn't take many being the backup guy.
Green throws it up, and there's nobody there except Reggie Reed. Reggie Reed to return it, and he's finally brought down by Ramin Thomas. So somebody zigged when they should have zagged. 4:07 left here, and Clayton with another turnover.
Yeah, somebody just didn't get that play right, because there wasn't a Clayton Clipper within 15, 20 yards.
The Clayton coaching staff takes Green to the side, and it looks like Green was on the wrong page there. First down and 10 for Pennsgrove. We have 3:44 left in this first half.
Oh, Alvin, you didn't say shit.
Coppage. Hands off again. It's Hayward. Hayward with a burst of speed. Here you see the burners. Hayward down the sideline. Hayward on his way. Aaron Hayward, touchdown.
Number 9, Aaron Hayward on the carry for Pennsgrove in for a touchdown.
76-yard touchdown run for Aaron Hayward.
Wow. You can see, I mean, the safety actually had like a clear cut at him, clear shot at him coming across the field, but he wasn't able to catch up to him. The guy's just too fast.
He's unbelievable.
You can see us. Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom.
Hayward picks up the ball, a little juke. Hayward has a man. Hayward cut down, and now penalty flags.
It might be a face mask.
And Hayward's gripping his knee. Looks like he's going to be okay. That would be an immense loss for Pennsgrove.
Face mask on the defense, half the distance, and retry.
So they'll retry here. Pennsgrove on top, 27-0.
Yeah, you can see this kid Hayward is something special, Rob. He reminds me a lot of a name that we probably remember a little bit, Dorian Bryant, a guy who just, once he gets into the open field, his speed just is incredible. And it looks like some guys just, the other guys are basically just, like going, when a car is going like 80 and it just passes you down the left-hand side, and the other cars are doing like 55, it looks like they're standing still. That kind of reminds me of what he's able to do with his speed.
Well, that's some great penetration there. Again, a highlight as Nico Campos cuts down Pennsgrove on the two-point conversion try. Not quite sure why they went for two there, but nonetheless, on top, 27-0 is Pennsgrove. And again, you talk about Dorian Bryant. My first thought was, of course, the player who I think is the best that I have seen play high school football, and that is Kevin Harvey. Primarily because I was able to see Harvey as a freshman, and he just seemed to get more and more amazing, if you will, each and every year. We didn't get an opportunity to see Dorian Bryant until he was a junior, as he came down from...
Well, Harvey had good speed, but it was just, he was so elusive.
Yes.
And just the way he played, it seemed like he was playing like he was a senior playing with a bunch of sixth graders.
I agree.
Where Dorian Bryant, the reason why I bring up Dorian Bryant is just because of that speed.
I would say that's probably a better comparison, because Dorian Bryant just had great speed.
Yeah, mine was much better than yours.
But again, the thing is that Hayward has an opportunity to really rewrite a lot of records, as Harvey did.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think to be and even put in the same category as Harvey, I don't want to even think of that yet, because Hayward has still got a lot to prove. Harvey was unbelievable, just carried his team. He had a lot more to work with around him, and I'm not saying that Pennsgrove doesn't have some nice players over there, but still they need to develop the program that Paulsboro is, and Pennsgrove is not Paulsboro at this point. I mean, Kemp Carr's got a lot of work to do before he becomes to that where Pennsgrove is there. But he's doing a nice job. But he says, he's going in and pulling guys, right out of their homes and saying, look, you're coming out and playing football. You got to make something in your life. You can't just sit at home and just be a menace in the community. We want you to come out here and play football and do something with your life. You have an opportunity to do big things because of your athleticism. We don't want to waste that. And he's done that with a couple of kids from this Pennsgrove team. And I think that's a testament to what his passion for not only high school sports, but also youth in his community.
Lock bomb angles towards the corner, and that will be a touchback. It was interesting. We talked a little bit about Harvey, but I was reading an article by Sam Carchidi, of course, who writes for the Philadelphia Inquirer, tremendous sports writer who also happens to reside in our Comcast viewing area.
Good guy, too. Good guy.
Tremendous guy. And, he was talking about the best football players, high school football players, and he said Willie Drury was the best high school football player that he had seen here in South Jersey, slightly above Kevin Harvey. And Drury, of course, went on to play at the University of West Virginia, or West Virginia University, and became a kick returner in the NFL for the Houston Oilers, a wideout, etc. So I never had an opportunity to see Drury play in high school, but he must have been something special even to be compared to Kevin Harvey, let alone be placed above him.
Kevin Harvey was such an incredible athlete, and I was able to see the tail end of his career, and what a treat that was to watch him play. For people who didn't, he was just stood above everyone else on the football field. He just made it look so easy, and his, some of his plays were so much fun to watch. A guy who kind of resembled him was Sakeen Wright, in that at that quarterback position. At that quarterback position, he made so many different things happen when you thought things would break down for him. All of a sudden, he'd scramble around back there and buy his receiver some time, and he had this arm strength to just throw it out there. A lot of people had thought that maybe he would go on and be a Division I quarterback with the size and strength that he had and elusiveness. He never went on to do that, now playing wide receiver at Rowan, but an excellent wide receiver. You see that total yardage. I mean, that is domination with 245 rushing yards to Clayton's 16. I believe they also have that touchdown pass to Pierce.
Green fumbles the football once again.
Just really having all kinds of problems right now is that young sophomore
quarterback comes away with the football. Well, it can't get much worse here for Clayton. Now the clock is still running, and I believe in high school football, if there's a decided edge, then the clock continues to run. I'm not sure what the rule is specifically.
You see Clayton with the 3 turnovers, Pennsgrove with the 1. Highlight for Clayton is that interception by Delvin.
Coppedge, your quarterback, and once again he's going to hand off, and it's going to be Carper. Carper with a wide open hole, touchdown. Roderick Carper, but a penalty flag down. I mean, holding against Pennsgrove, so that may have been the reason for that large hold.
Holding on the offense, repeat first down.
I think even Clayton wishes that show Heidi would even come on right now. I don't think they want to watch any more of this.
That's a great one. You have to explain a lot of our viewers probably have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't even know what year it was, but
it was the late 60s, if I'm not mistaken.
There was a big game towards the end of the season. I think it was with the Raiders and the Jets. And towards the end of the game, I think the contract stated they could only go to a certain time, and the movie Heidi had come on and preempted the game. They just went right to the movie, and a lot of people were upset about that. It was a big game, and I think there was a big comeback in the works, and the Raiders actually pulled that one out.
I know that it was an unbelievable finish, and no one got to see it because Heidi came in. Heidi was a story about a German girl in the Alps. So I'm not sure that's necessarily your target audience for football fans.
Probably not. No, I don't think so. But at this point, Heidi, little German girl from the Alps might not be a bad idea. I'd even take a little Norwegian girl from. This is not what we expected, Rob, at all. I mean, we thought that this game would be a little bit closer. We did, Clayton coming in with the guys out certainly did not help. But Pensgrove, let's give them some credit too. I know we've been talking about, the depletion of the Clayton team. Here you see the timeouts. Pensgrove has done a terrific job. You can see this team has some weapons. You talk about Hayward and Coppage, but then you had the Carper, and this team was with Pierce as well. They have some nice players. The Ledbetters also had a pretty nice game. You could see where they'll put a scare into some teams, and they already last week what they were able to do offensively against Glassboro was pretty impressive.
Just under 9 seconds left. Coppage now, again will pitch, finds Hayward. Hayward will string it outside. Hayward now, and he's cut down. And we'll see if Pensgrove calls a timeout again. They do. So 0.2 of a second left. Are you surprised they're calling timeouts here with a 27-point lead?
I really have. I can't. It's still the first half. I think you play whatever you can do in the first half, and once you get up in the first half, then you pull back a little bit. But I'm always the one. To me, you anger me more if you show me pity. I'd rather somebody play as hard as they can.
I'll stop
for the 4 quarters.
I'll stop showing you pity, Shawn.
But that to me, that shames me more when somebody's taking it easy on me. I would get more frustrated with that and get more angered by that.
That's always difficult because on the one hand you want to be a good sportsman, but on the other hand, it is tough when another team's letting up on you.
I think that in sports, they say, "Oh, why did this team?" Somebody called us up not too long, this week and was really angry that Kingsway beat up on Cumberland.
70-nothing.
It was 50s, I think, in the 50s. We'll get to that.
Back to pass, Coppage looking, has a man, and it's caught. Touchdown. Terrell Pierce.
Terrell Pierce, good for a touchdown for Pensgrove.
Pierce with a little down and out, gets himself open. You can see this guy's good size at about 6'2", can go up and get the football. His good hands. I think he was 1,200 all-purpose yards last year. So this is a guy who has shown that he's able to make big things happen when he gets the ball in his hands. And that was from the running back position. Now that they have Hayward back there, also Ledbetter and Carper, Coppage is able to throw the ball to a bigger target. But somebody caught up about Kingsway and Cumberland. And that's when you pull back and you bring in your secondary and third team units. I mean, what are you going to do? You can't tell them don't score. To me, that's more showing up another team is when you're kind of laughing at them, saying, look, we're not even going to run plays and tell our guys not to score. You got to allow them to get some time in, and they want to get in the end zone as much as the first unit did.
That's a good point. Now, before I said there were 0.2 of a second left, there's actually a couple light bulbs out on the scoreboard here, so it was 30.2 seconds. So 23 seconds remain, and right now I think Clayton's just hoping for a kickoff return for a touchdown. Maybe not even a touchdown, just something positive to take into the locker room, because it's been a difficult afternoon already.
See the 4 plays, 20 yards off the fumble by Green. Terrell Pierce, 14-yard touchdown reception, his second of the day. He had one earlier, I believe, for 35 yards.
Last night in Gloucester County, probably the biggest game in the area. Washington Township came away with a big win over Cherokee. A couple of big turnovers by the Cherokee quarterback.
That was a huge, huge game for Washington Township. I think both them teams are coming into the year as the #1 and #2 teams. #1 and #2 teams coming into the year in South Jersey. But Cherokee was knocked off by Pennsauken, which kind of lost the luster of that game a little bit. But still, a lot of people were excited about the Township.
That game, Cherokee was kind of in the same situation as Clayton. They had lost a lot of their seniors due to some discipline reasons, and they really felt that this was going to allow them to demonstrate that they are the top team. But of course, Washington Township had something to say about that. And again, you think about what we talked about here at Clayton, same thing at Cherokee. I mean, you put your team in quite a bind because of your antics. Long kick, and this will find its way into the end zone.
Well, they didn't expect themselves to be 0-2 coming to start the season with Cherokee in that Washington Township game. As again, people really thought that was maybe the big game of the year, Cherokee and Township. Congratulations to the Minutemen. And I think the Washington Township team's in for a special season. And everyone talks about Shawnee. Well, they got their first big opponent out of the way with Cherokee. And they really beat up on Winslow Township, which a lot of people thought was a pretty good team coming into the year. So Washington Township, the last couple of years we've had in Gloucester County 4 teams actually vying for a South Jersey championship, and has it come to fruition is all 4 of the groups have not been taken by Gloucester County. But this year you could possibly see that there would be a shot of that happening.
19 seconds left, and Green collides with Campos. Campos is brought down. That will likely do it here for the first half. And for Coach Washington and the Clippers, it couldn't happen quick enough. They're going to have to go back to the locker room, really try to regroup, and try to do some positives here in the second half and build upon that for the rest of their season. We'll head to break. It's the Pennsgrove Red Raiders in control of this one. They lead 34-0. Welcome back. Second half underway. Lockbaum's kick finds its way to the end zone, and Clayton will start at their own 20-yard line. Of course, Pennsgrove on top, 34-0 here. It's been all Red Devils. Hot afternoon. Season opener, home opener for Clayton. Pennsgrove coming off a loss to Glassboro last week, where star was Aaron Hayward. Let's take a look at the stats. And again, clear domination. The lone first down, that pass from Green to Tunstall, and that accounts for their 18 passing yards. You see the rushing yards and the total yardage. Just a tremendous disparity, better than 7-1. And to me, the most amazing stat there, Shawn, third down conversions. They didn't even have to have a third down.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, you can just see how well their offense has been doing on first down, picking up 5, 6, 7 yards on first down, and they're able to just convert on second down and move the chains or score. I mean, this team has been incredible moving the football. And again, Clayton, like you had said earlier, I think it's a good point. Not having that first game, it really takes you a half. It's going to be interesting to see how the team responds now out of halftime. Pennsgrove already playing 3 halves. A little bit of an advantage there. And then Clayton, just coming out, having that first half, getting knocked around a little bit, getting the kinks out. Yeah, they're really going to need to improve. And the most important thing to look at is their offensive line and defensive line, and doing a better job there.
Handoff again. And this time Lawrence is going nowhere. He'll be dropped for a loss. Those halftime stats, courtesy of our own Mike DeChico, the best stat man in the business.
He's awesome. Awesome at stats. You got the computer over here. You can see the drive. I mean, it's kind of neat to have him next to us because he feeds us a lot of good information.
Makes us look good. That's not an easy job.
Especially you.
Come on, get your hands on him. Let's go.
10 minutes left. Third quarter, Pennsgrove on top, 34-0. Key third down here for Clayton. I formation for Green. Green hands off, and Lawrence sees a hole, dives forward, first down.
Nice tough run. I talked about that in the first half, those extra tough yards. You know, he gets hit probably about 2 yards from the first down, but his momentum and that drive and that push that you get from working out during the offseason and working out on your legs is able to get you those couple extra yards for Clayton's second first down of the game. Pennsgrove still with its starting unit out there, so this is a nice test for Clayton to come out of halftime, trying to gain something positive out of this game.
Well, it's been that kind of afternoon for Clayton. Take a step forward and a couple back.
Scott Wagner going to call in, calling his buddies to see if they thought maybe that Pennsgrove was in the neutral zone and caused them to jump. I don't think so. I think Clayton's going to be backed up. Well, this is a lengthy conversation by the...
Seems relatively cut and dry.
Well, they're trying to... you might have a split decision down there. Somebody might say, no, I think they're in the neutral zone. The other guy's saying, nah, Clayton jumped. You know, and when you got that, you try to talk it out and make sure you make the right call.
False start on the offense. Repeat first down.
Cut him a break. He's a Clearview guy anyway. Leave him alone. What do you got there? A little reading material for the second half.
First down and 15.
Clayton, 3 penalties so far with 12 yards.
He eludes the tackle, and the ball is incomplete. Second down and 10.
I think it's a good idea there by Coach Washington. He's going to just roll out Green, try to get him some space and try to get something where he's not getting a full rush up into his face so he can release the ball. Now, one of the strengths on this kid is his passing. I mean, he does have a nice arm. You know, one of the weaknesses is just the inexperience that he has. He just hasn't had enough touches at the varsity level. None, actually. I mean, he's just coming into this game cold, and you know, that's one of the weaknesses. Calling the plays, getting the plays right. As you can see here, he's trying to make sure that he gets everything right now. He's getting sent back out on a long 2nd and 15.
Second and 15, as you mentioned. Clayton, again, coming off this season 1-9, feeling like they can build upon that. And they're hoping to generate some momentum here in the second half. Green runs out of the pocket, rolls, throws, incomplete. Good coverage there by Pennsgrove's number 85. And
That's Aiden
Mohammed Aideen.
Mohammed Aideen was all over the intended receiver. Nice job by him of coming up, not interfering, but just disrupting the receiver, not allowing him to get a clean look. And Green was under a heavy pass rush, but you could see what Clayton wants to do is try to roll Green out and get him an open look so he can fire the ball. Because again, he does have, he's got a nice arm. We've seen earlier, he's got the nice touch. He had the nice touch earlier to Tunstall. The one thing that you can criticize him on is just knowing the plays. You know, we had earlier, he threw one where it was really a punt.
Timeout is currently called on the field, and we'll step away. 8:35 left, 34-0 Pennsgrove. Welcome back. 8:35 left, third quarter. Third down and 15 for the Clippers. I formation for Green, the sophomore quarterback again. With time, throws it up, and it's underthrown, has a man, and is knocked down. Unable to elevate and come down with it was Willie Smith.
But Willie just, he came up short on the pass. It looked like Green put the ball where it was supposed to be, but Green, Willie Smith just comes up a little short, trying to set himself in good position Evans back to the defenders, but the ball was a little overthrown on the account that he just came up a little short. Here comes Ardecki. He's had a couple nice punts.
He's done a nice job.
Ardecki on for a punt for the Clippers. Back to return it. Pensgrove, number 2.
Ardecki
Ledbetter.
punted away. It's high and it's short. And that punt won't even make the first down marker. So tough start here for Clayton once again. 34-0 with 8:15 left in this third quarter. So we have a trivia question here for you, Shawn, and let's see how you do. Have our fans see if they can get this. But before we do that, let's take a look at the drives of the Pensgrove Raiders. Go ahead, Shawn, take it away.
Yeah, the one play opening possession for the Pensgrove Red Devils. 55 yards on a touchdown run. Then you had the 4 plays, 66 yards, capped off by the 35-yard reception to Pierce, a 7-play drive. Touchdown. Just the one interception is the only negative play mixed in by Pensgrove so far. They've really dominated this game in every facet.
And again, the domination continues. A big pickup there by Pensgrove. First down. Campos on the tackle for the Clippers.
Down, I think. It looked like one of the Clippers.
We have an injury.
Yeah, it's
on
Nico
the field.
Campos, the linebacker.
Well, here is a dubious distinction, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And looking at the variety of,
Go ahead.
looking at the variety of records held, there's only one record held by either one of these teams in South Jersey, be it by a team or a player. And that is most points allowed by a team in a season.
Most?
And that is Clayton. Can you tell me, this goes way back to 1970, how many points do you think they allowed in one season?
Oh, wow. This is an easy one. How many points? Come on. What, are you kidding me?
Within 20.
Within 20. All right.
Wait a
so
second, aren't you a sports writer? You're a historian, aren't you? You're supposed to know this stuff.
No, absolutely not. All right, let's go with let's go 490 points.
490 points.
Game of the week next week, Clearview Pioneers at the Delsea Crusaders. You'll have that right here on Channel 5. Be aired Saturday, September 24th. That's a pretty big game in the Rural Division. Both teams coming into the game undefeated. Pioneers with a big win over Highland last night.
I'm really looking forward to that game. Not only do you have two great teams, but Clearview's done a tremendous job with their facility there. Inside Reggie Reed.
How about Hidsey getting on the big stations last night? He was Channel 10. Channel 10 in the locker room getting his troops fired up before the game, got everyone excited.
I'd rather be on Channel 5.
Well, whatever. We are on Channel 5. but Bidsy was on Channel 10. You know, it's Philadelphia area coverage, seeing my good friend and yours, Coach Bidsy, on there. He's probably one of the greatest motivators that you're going to find. I mean, his pregame speeches are legendary at least Clearview.
So your answer was 490 points.
That's my answer, 490 points.
Well, I did say within 20 points, so you're wrong. It's 512.
I was wrong by 2 points?
Well, 22, actually. It was outside the parameters.
Well,
so
I was wrong by 22
You owe me a hot
points.
dog next week.
All right, whatever.
Inside handoff, and in for the score, touchdown. LeVar Ledbetter. 40-0 now, Pensgrove on top.
Bet you that hot dog that he makes this extra point. Double or nothing? Come on.
Who's he? Lockbaum?
Lockbaum.
Okay, I'll take you on that. Then I'll give you another trivia question.
Again, if you're just joining us, Pensgrove early on taking advantage of some of Clayton's senior starters.
Point after is good. Pensgrove now extends their lead 41-0 here with 6:08 left in the third quarter.
But more importantly, I don't know you hot dog.
All right, here's your next trivia question. I'll give you an easier one. How's that sound? This is fun for the people at home as well.
For the people who maybe just joined us, Clayton, you know, if you're wondering why the score is so lopsided and people thought maybe it would be a closer game, Clayton, I think 4 or 5 of its senior starters not dressed for this game but due to disciplinary action. And, you know, Clayton, you got to give credit to Coach Washington also for putting his foot down and having a discipline program and not letting the kids dictate how they're going to act and represent the team inside school. So nice job by Coach Washington just sticking with it. When, you know, sometimes you'll see coaches making the wrong decision there. Coach Washington certainly made the right one.
All right, here's your next trivia question. Most points in a season, okay? The top 4 guys, 3 of them we've covered here on Channel 5. Can you name all 4 of them? Your hint for the odd man out is he is currently a Division 1A running back.
Okay, can you repeat the question, please?
4 top scorers in South Jersey history. The 3 of the 4 we have covered here on Channel 5.
Okay.
The number 3 man in that list is currently a Division 1A running back.
And that's the top 4.
Top 4.
We've covered 3 here, and
Yes,
this
on
is
Channel
points
5.
points scored?
Points scored in a season.
Scored in a season.
One season.
One season, and only one season.
Correct.
Okay, one of them is Kevin Harvey.
Kevin Harvey is number 4 on the list. In 1995, he scored 212 points.
Unbelievable. Isaac Redman.
Isaac Redman is number 2 on the list. In 2002, he scored 226 yards. He had a big game the other day for Morgan State, by the way. That's angled towards the sideline, and it's a wise play by Clayton, and they'll get some positive yardage.
Paul Goss.
Well, Stan Ritter helped you with that one. But that's the most obvious, of course. Last year, he scored 236 to break that record. So you got the 3 gentlemen that we covered here on Channel 5, Gauls, Redman, and Harvey.
And this is in South Jersey.
This is in South Jersey.
South Jersey history. So this one's outside the area.
Hot dog.
This one's outside the area.
Correct.
I get 3. It's like Family Feud. I get 3 strikes.
Back up. Back.
Let's get to this play first.
First down and 10. 5:40 left. 41-0 Pensgrove. It's really been all Pensgrove. They have dominated this game on both sides of the ball. Clayton has played relatively sloppy football, putting the ball on the ground, and interceptions, and just way too many penalties, and once again, more laundry on the field.
Number 9, Eddie McDaniel's carrying for the Clippers. Flag on the field.
I think it's a hold here. Illegal shift.
On the offense, we're going to repeat first down.
First and 15 now for Clayton.
All right, can I get instead of my 3 strikes, I want to ask you 3 questions.
You want me to show you the answer? Would you prefer that I just tell you and then we can get it over with?
No. Was it in the 80s or 90s or in the 2000s? Come on.
I said that he's currently a running back. So if it was in the 80s, he would be one heck of an old running back.
I didn't hear you that because we got Stan laughing in our ears, so it's very difficult to hear you sometimes.
Okay.
So he's currently a running back.
I don't think Stan deserves blame this time.
Points scored in the season. Currently a running back. In college, they're going to get
another penalty here. Okay, he's currently a Division 1A running back.
Currently a Division 1A running back. I'm going to go with.
I tell you what, your time runs out as soon as they run a playoff.
I'm gonna say my first guess is Wally Lundy.
That is correct. Very good.
I'm up a hot dog.
Okay. Now that was a pretty easy question.
It wasn't that easy. What, are you kidding me?
I even gave you a hint for that.
Well, it still wasn't that easy.
Okay.
It was what, named 4 of them. I named 4 of them without getting 1 strike.
Okay. All right. in South Jersey last year.
First and 20, by the way, for Clayton.
Here's your next question.
Here's your next question.
Loss of yardage. We'll hold off.
That's good effort. That's good effort that time on Denzel Bryant, freshman. Just keeping the legs turning. This is where you really find the character on your team, to see who's going to stick in there and continue to work hard for your team. And those are the character guys you kind of want to build your season around. Get far away.
Second down, 23 to go.
Yes.
3 minutes and 30 seconds. Clayton just looking for anything here. Try to put together a drive and get on the scoreboard. Handoff, a big hole, and a nice pickup. Some good blocking inside for the freshman Denzel Bryant.
I mean, start talking about some of these big guys up front. Leon Sanders, a senior that time, with a nice block in that hole in Ardecki. You know what Ardecki collects? This is if you look at Ardecki and you see him and everything like that.
When he plays on defense, he collects running backs.
Collects running backs. That's pretty good.
You like that?
Not bad. Yeah. Somebody coming out limping on the field. That's
There's no 58 on our roster. He was lined up at the backfield earlier.
It's difficult to tell. Do you know what he collects? He collects something, and you look at him, and you know he's in the line. He's a tough guy, and all that, and it kind of makes sense.
2:30 left. Third down and 16. Staying ready, always with it. Handoff inside, and again a positive pickup there, and that's a big collision.
Well, Ardecki laid somebody out, and that's you're seeing number 60. If we can get a shot of him. Number 60, Bill Ardecki. What would he collect? There's a trivia question for you.
He's collecting.
Collecting what? Come on. It's in. I'll tell you what. I'll give you a hint. It's some type of clothing, some type of apparel. Hats.
Fourth down and 14. And Ardecki will once again punt. This is his fourth punt. Ardecki punts it away. And it goes out of bounds.
Can you guess? I'm waiting over here.
Stan registered a guess. I'm not sure. Was Stan's guess correct?
No, incorrect. Incorrect. Water Taffy's is incorrect.
Okay, that's not apparel.
That's not apparel.
Stan is silly. First down and 10 for Pensgrove at the 40-yard line.
You give up?
I do.
Belt buckles.
Belt buckles. That was my next guess.
That makes sense, right? A big guy collecting belt buckles.
Yeah, it's like the Worldwide Wrestling Federation chain.
Here comes somebody a little late on the field.
Reggie Reed. You know, one of the problems today with this Clayton team is that they got behind so early. They've really lost their focus.
Right.
And in many ways, that's going to not bode well for next week either, because you can see they've had so many penalties today. The number of penalties that they've had is dramatic.
We have 5 for 22, as opposed to Pensgrove 1 of 10. And that's, you know, one of the things that they're going to have to fix. And one of the things that Coach Washington, coming into today's game, said that they had to be disciplined, not get the penalties, play smart football, unable to do so.
And off again, it's Carper, and Carper is stopped and brought down. A nice tackle there by Clayton's Leon Sanders.
And Pensgrove will come out. They'll go 5 wide sometimes. They'll go in the eye. They'll go in a wing formation. They have a lot of different things that they'll do to try and make other teams prepare for it. You know, you talk about the guy who does it is Dan Pigott, who tries to throw in a lot of different things to make other teams prepare. And Kip Carr is the same type of coach where he tries to put in a lot of things to really make you have to prepare for a team. When you go up against Delsey, you know what you're going to get. You know, you can't stop it sometimes, but you know what you're going to get from them. Pennsgrove is very difficult to find out what kind of plays they're going to run and what type of offense they're going to run from play to play.
And that'll be the last play of this third quarter. We will head to break. Pennsgrove still in control. They lead 41-0. Welcome back. Handoff for Pennsgrove as they start this fourth quarter with the ball and continuing to move the ball. Now we'll get back to our...
They got some new faces in there as well for Pennsgrove. That time carrying the ball was Shawil Green, a freshman.
I got a great question for you here.
It's their first third down that they're coming up for radio. This is I'm going to see some fans coming in, still hanging out, still checking out the game.
Third down and short. And the quarterback is now Reed. And he will take it himself. Actually, it's Carper, I should say. So he was in the backfield. Now he takes the sneak, and the big surge gets the first down. Okay, 1991 was the last time that Clayton made the playoffs.
Yeah.
And they made it, actually, to the South Jersey Championship game.
Right on.
Who did they lose to?
Give me a second here. Hold on, I'm going to get this one.
We ran this on Channel 5 this year,
I actually
so you
did.
should know this.
I should, because I think I did the open for the Channel 5 archives. We had this game.
The fumble in the backfield, and still Carper with enough time to pick it up, and he's brought down for a loss. Nice play made by Ramin Thomas. Thomas has had himself a good afternoon.
Okay, Clayton.
I'm trying to give you easy ones.
Clayton lost. Clayton in the South Jersey Championship. I'm going to say they played. No, I don't want any help from the audience. No help from the audience. I got people from Clayton looking at me. I need to get this one myself. If I'm not mistaken, they beat Gloucester. They beat Gloucester.
I'm sorry, time is up.
Wait, hold on. Time out. They beat Gloucester to get to the final. And then
second down and 13. A huge hole once again. And just way too easy for Pennsgrove and John Santiago. Just a immense hole. And it's now 47-0.
I'm going to say they.
It was a 17-yard run for Santiago.
They got to the finals against Woodbury.
That's correct. Unfortunately, the announcers
blues
here
whistle
gave you that
before the
answer.
snap.
No, I swear to God. I wasn't listening.
In the background.
Yeah, but I wasn't paying attention. But I think they did beat Gloucester
According to our
to get to
director,
that
that's a 2 hot dog penalty. You owe me 1 hot dog right now.
2 hot dog penalty.
So the touchdown comes back, and the lead holds at 41.
Yeah, I got that right. And I do believe they did beat Gloucester to get to that. But I think actually the Gloucester game is what we ran. We ran the Gloucester game, which is who they defeated, and then lost to Woodbury. That's impressive. That's impressive. I mean, I'm up too.
What's impressive? That you could read what the sign that they held up for you?
They didn't have the sign over there. I was looking. They can attest that I was not looking over there. I had the shield going, the hand shield.
This just then you don't have to look at them to hear the answer.
We got headsets on. Genius. 2-0. I'd be upset too if I had somebody hot dogs and I'm going to get
Dead ball.
double hot dog or something.
On the defense.
Good news is
Still
that
second down.
4 or 5 last week.
I'm going for more for next.
By the way, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna say that the hot dog I just had here in the Clayton press box was the best hot dog that I've had in all of South Jersey. Wow.
It was a good hot. And thank you very much to Dan Antonelli and the athletic department for bringing them up to
Dan Antonelli
couple
really
other
took
guys
care of us today. We really appreciate it. Brought me a nice, cool, refreshing iced tea and some water. Best hot dog, South Jersey. Dan Antonelli did a great job here as head coach of the soccer program. No longer the head coach, but still mans the wrestling program. Of course, the athletic director here.
a great coach, by the way, too.
Outstanding. We had some great games with Clayton soccer.
What he's done for the Clayton programs, both in soccer and wrestling, is unbelievable because of the frustrations they had in years prior to that. He's done a nice job of setting up youth organizations here to get the midget wrestling program in order.
Big stop made by Clayton, and the ball held up by Ardecki, but they ruled that it's second down. You know, I think Clayton in general, their athletic program is really starting to turn around. Their baseball team had a much better season last year. And
I think they got a good, some nice players, girls soccer. A couple of girls, Sammy New, and there's another girl over there. Their name escaping me right now, but a couple of nice players there. So, yeah, you're right. They are.
Of course, Frank Rago, we saw earlier today, the basketball coach. He's done a nice job with their basketball program. So a lot of positives here at Clayton High School.
Yeah, they're not the automatic buy once you come down here. They're going to fight you and play pretty well.
We have the field hockey coach here. I would promote their program, but she gave the answer to Shawn. Handoff. And stretched outside, and another big stop, still on his feet. No, brought down. Good effort by Santiago, but speaking of field hockey, yesterday, Cherokee tied Eastern to break their winning streak. I know in speaking with Danielle Heilig, the head coach at Eastern, she feels that her team's a little bit down this year, and this could be the year that they lose. They'll play an Emmaus team that is ranked #1 in the nation. They'll be playing them a little bit later, but don't be surprised if someone in South Jersey trips them up.
Good. I'm glad. Yeah, Kingsway had tied them a couple of years back.
It's an unbeaten streak.
Yeah, they're unbeaten streak. They still have that unbeaten streak.
But after the Kingsway game, they had run off, I believe, 40 wins in a row.
I hope they lose. I'm not going to lie to you.
That's real nice.
Well, you know, the streaks are made to be broken. You'd like to see a team to get some excitement and stuff like that.
I'd like to see a South Jersey program continue to do well.
I'd like to see them all do well.
Timeout on the field. We've had a lot
big
of
time to set the
today.
paper. Big time to set the paper. That's why my personal feelings are getting in the way there.
Say again?
Big time. Eastern Field Hockey, big time to set the Gloucester County Times one time. Right? Got personal feelings against it.
I did not know that. Well, Eastern baseball will never do that to you.
No, I know that. We covered one of your games.
You did.
You guys looked pretty good this year.
That was probably the best game we played all year, actually.
Thank you.
Speaking of high school sports, why not tune in on Wednesday, 7:30, or Thursday at 10 p.m., and Shawn Leary will get more questions wrong from John Mondelli, and they'll talk high school sports.
So what you're saying is John Mondelli's questions are going to be wrong? Because he usually asks me the questions. That's ignorant, man. Ignorant.
How are they going to be wrong?
Can't wait to hear.
John Mondelli always does a great job with that sports show. You want to tune in. And he told me, I don't know what this means, but he said his back was hurting him this year. I'm not sure what that means, Shawn.
He is carrying the show.
Third down.
Another third down for Pennsgrove. 10th play this drive.
Snake in the backfield. I tell you what, this Clayton
Nice
defense
job.
has picked things up here. So, again,
Try to find some positives.
Exactly.
Tackle in the
Things to build
backfield by
on.
number 60, Bill Ardecki.
Killing you with the hot dog thing, buddy. 2-0. 2-0. You want to throw another one at me?
You want another question? Okay.
We got 6 minutes left. Think you
Last
better.
year, 5 teams in South Jersey won championship football games. The state, in theory, the state championship. 5 public teams, okay? 1 hot dog off for each one you get wrong.
1 hot dog. All right, well, you want to get to this kick first?
Yes, lock bomb on.
Lock bomb on for a
And you're
25-yard
gonna attempt the field goal. The kick is up, and the kick is
Kick is
good.
up and good.
So Lockbaum does a nice job.
25-yard,
extends the lead to 44-0.
25-yard extra point. Well, I'm going to say Shalleck in Group 1.
4 of the 5 are very easy.
West Deptford in Group 2.
Right.
Deptford in Group 3.
Right.
In Group 4, Shawnee.
So those are the 4 easy ones. I mean, those are, I'd say 99% of our viewing audience got those.
Right, public. You said public.
That's correct.
Public. Wow. Public, huh? You had to go with the public, huh? Not the parochial team.
Do you want? There were 6 teams overall. Do you want to go that way?
No.
Okay. I didn't think so.
I'm going to say.
Because they're like the reason I go there, because it's entertainment. When I have nothing to do and I'm walking around, I go talk to Joe. And now he's not going to be there.
I'm going to say.
Thomas and Bryant back to return. Lockbaum's kickoff.
I get another. Holy Cross.
Well, unfortunately, Holy Cross is a parochial school, so you now owe me 1 even though you got the answer from the people at my left, we're down to 1 hot dog. Go ahead, next guess.
There you see Don Lockbaum with the 25-yard field goal. Goal plays.
You want to
7
register another
minutes,
guess?
47 seconds on the time of possession. Oh. Yeah, 1 second.
Lockbaum, a nice kick once again. He's done a nice job for this Pennsgrove team, and special teams play should be solid this year for the Red Raiders. Nice return, and finally brought down is the freshman Denzel Bryant. First down and 10 for the Clippers. 5:15 left, 44-0. Pennsgrove on top.
25.
I'm just looking at last night's scores, man. What's wrong?
You'll do anything to cheat, won't you?
Oh, boy, this is a tough one. I'm going to have to say... Camden Catholic.
Another parochial school. Yeah, see, the Clayton crew on my left is telling Shawn, don't look over here, we don't have this one for you.
I'm going to quit while the quitting's good.
Okay, well, the 5th team is Florence. Florence is now part of the Central grouping, although they are in South Jersey. So you now owe me 4 hot dogs.
That was a trick question.
Well, not really. I said public, and you named 2 parochial schools.
Yeah, I know, but... Well, Florence is actually a central school now.
That's incorrect. Only in football.
Well, that's what we're talking about. We watch cross country here.
South Jersey school.
Nico Campos carrying for the Clippers.
Cheater.
Nico Campos. First down and 10. I mean, I would love to see Clayton come away with a score here, to have something positive to take home with them. This crowd has endured a very hot, humid day, and you have to give them credit, too. I mean, they're here.
Yeah, they're still sticking around, trying to find something.
I honestly don't think the crowd has dissipated. First and 10, 3:35. Green. Green fumbles. Ball blown dead.
Yeah, he struggled with that.
Second down.
It's one of the things that I know he's going to probably go back to being the backup again, but he's going to have to work on that, because that's something that's plagued him throughout the game.
All right, let's talk a little bit about what these teams have ahead of themselves. First, let's take a look at the graphic. It's Pennsgrove, 1 penalty for 10 yards. Clayton, 7 penalties for 32 yards. And we'll step away. We have 3:15 left. Come on back to the conclusion of this one. Schedule St. James last year. Okay. Swing pass outside. And Ramin Thomas.
Yeah, Ramin meant business. Ramin business. Sophomore comes over to the side, puts his head down. Nice collision. Lindenwold just slipping past Haddonfield Friday night's game, 32-27.
Let's quickly take a look ahead here for the Pennsgrove Red Raiders. Next week, They have Woodstown at home at Salem, a big game for Coach Kemp, as he was a product of Salem. Gloucester, Pittman, Shalleck, and then at Highland before the cutoff. Pennsville to wrap things up, of course, their big arch rival. And for Clayton next week, they're going to take on Wilmington Friends, and that should be a game that's far more competitive for this team. A little sneak, and Green bounces off tackles, and he's finally stopped at about the 30-yard line. After Wilmington Friends, should be a good matchup at Pennsville, and then they'll be at Salem, come back home against Woodstown, and then at Glassboro and at Gloucester. A couple of tough games back-to-back, and their Thanksgiving rival is versus the Panthers of Pittman.
Some other scores this weekend. West Effort blanking Woodbury 31-0. Woodbury getting the big powers out of the Colonial out of the way now.
That's not
Deptford, Kingsway. Kingsway was trailing 21-0 at halftime to Deptford and scored twice. And actually was knocking on the door. To go in for the tying score, the potential tying score, and ended up losing by 2 touchdowns. But nonetheless, a nice effort by Kingsway. A lot of people thought maybe Kingsway would struggle again this season, and after what they were able to do against Cumberland and then put together a nice game against Deptford, you have to wonder maybe Kingsway is going to try to shake some things up inside that rural division.
.122 left, 44-0 Pennsgrove. Second down and 10. I formation for Green and the Clippers. Split right, it's Tunstall. Green gets pressure, throws it, has a man, it's underthrown, and it's caught. Nice catch made on the ball underthrown by Willie Smith. If Green could have got a little bit more air under that, they could have had a nice hookup and possibly a touchdown.
Little Young scored a couple of touchdowns, 3 touchdowns last night, 203 yards on just 12 carries.
High formation again, the Clippers continuing to mount a drive here as they close things. Green throws it up, has a man, tipped up, almost caught and dropped. Tunstall almost comes away with it.
Pass attempt was incomplete to number 4, Bobby Tunstall, broken up on the play by number 3, John Santiago.
So finally, you can see the Clippers offense starting to gel a little bit.
How about that Cordell Young? 203 yards, 12 carries.
He's one of the top players in the state.
Yeah.
Second down and 10, 58 seconds remain here, and the Clippers deep in Pennsgrove territory. Split right is Steve Mason. High formation. Green again with good protection. Rolls out. Wide open, has a man. It's caught.
Nice catch.
Touchdown. Ramin Thomas, who we mentioned earlier, had himself a pretty good game today, comes down with the catch from Green, and Clayton is on the scoreboard.
I know this is Pennsgrove's backup unit, but that's something you build on coming into, going into the next game. As Green comes out, and he fired a couple of nice passes. The future quarterback for the Clippers in the next couple of years, suiting up today because of some disciplinary problems for Clayton. Nonetheless, nice pass that time to Ramin Thomas, and they hit the scoreboard.
44-6, under a minute to play. And they'll line up to go for 2.
And Ardecki is in the backfield. Big number 60. Give him the ball. There he goes. Tell me that's not.
That's the fridge.
Tell me that's not an intimidating look as you see Big Bill Ardecki coming at you.
It's Clippers' version of the fridge. It's the refrigerator, or maybe the dishwasher.
Your little formation, 6 men on the line on the offense, retry.
I like the dishwasher.
Dishwasher cleans up the
Cleans
defense.
up the extra points.
Well, again, next week we're going to have a
We might
very
have to
good
work
game.
with the
Delsey and Clearview, a game that really looking forward to. Two teams that are, the last few years have really had some excellent teams. We had a Clearview Delsey game on for you a couple of years ago. A great matchup, and again, I'm really looking forward to that. I know you always look forward to doing the Clearview games.
Well, I like doing all the games. Nothing there. Yeah, I look forward to doing all the games. But I look forward to doing games that are going to be competitive, close matchups. And we thought this game might go that way, but one chance you did get to see is Hayward in this game, and we got a chance to see him run for 115 yards. And Pennsgrove has some nice young players that I think that you're seeing them develop and mature into possibly some big names like Paul Gauzes and some of the Cordell Youngs and the stuff that we have now. This Hayward and Coppage should be names that people are going to recognize in the next couple of years who follow high school football. Pennsgrove still has some work cut out for them to be contenders in Group 1, but I could see them making the playoffs. Why not?
Kemp Carr's done a nice job here. First time we met Kemp today, I mean, he looks appreciably younger than what he is. And he has that youthful enthusiasm, which is infectious. And I think you see that in the response from Pennsgrove. And he's really optimistic. Despite being 2-8 last year, he feels really good about this team. And I think he feels that if this team doesn't make the playoffs, it would be a major disappointment.
Yeah, I think so, too. He'd be pretty disappointed. He thinks this team is going to make the playoffs, and that's the confidence you need. You need your team to believe in it. Clayton with 125 total yards, 72 from the pass, 53 via the rush.
Well, again, the positive there, Clayton able to put together a protracted drive, punch it in on the pass from Green to Thomas, and this is something that they can build on next week going into Wilmington Friends, and I think they feel confident that they'll be very competitive, come up perhaps with a victory there.
Wilmington Friends is a decent team. It's going to be an interesting game, to say the least, for Clayton, especially if they're able to, how the team's going to respond to some of the players returning to action next week.
And Clayton will kick it away here with 45 seconds left. It's a line drive, and it's caught in the air by the Pennsgrove Red Raiders at the 48-yard line. It was quite a catch by Pennsgrove. Excuse me, I said the Red Raiders, Red Devils.
All day, too. I'll bring it up now, but
what's that?
It's been all day you've been saying that.
Yeah.
Embarrassed for you. Back my water, too. Well, we're even on hot dogs. We leave here even. Unless you want to throw one more trivia in the last 43 seconds.
44-6.
Score of the game. 43 seconds left. Pennsgrove probably just going to run a play here. Pennsgrove averaging. They're starting their possessions at midfield today. That's their average. Clayton at its own 30.
And they will take a knee.
Hayward, 5 carries, 115 yards and a touch. Coppets, 2 touchdown passes to Pierce.
And they will not have to snap the ball again. So Pennsgrove will even up their record this year at 1-1. Coming off the loss to Glassboro, an impressive win. It started right from the get-go. First play from scrimmage was a touchdown run, and Pennsgrove cruised from there. Clayton able to score inside of a minute here in the fourth quarter to negate the shutout. And Pennsgrove will look to next week and try to build upon this success.
Yeah, for Pennsgrove, you have to wonder, the one thing you have to concern yourself with is how many power points they're going to be able to build from the next, from the wins that they're going to be able to achieve in the Classic division. They're going to need to pile up some wins because of the power points. They're not going to get many power points from this particular victory if Clayton continues to have the type of season that it started off with. Obviously, they're going to get better with getting some of their players back into the game. But it's going to be interesting to see how Pennsgrove takes the rest of the year and some of the big games that they have. They're going to have to beat the Woodstowns and those type of teams that can give them the power points needed to get to the playoffs.
Well, a special thank you once again to our stat man, Mike DeChico, who always does an exceptional job. For my director, Stan Ritter, my partner, Shawn Hot Dog Leary, I'm Rob Christ. Once again, your final score, it was Pennsgrove easily over Clayton. Good night, everybody.